All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. I hope my voice is clear, and let me know, please, if you have any difficulty in the voice. Uh, First of all, please invite your friends, and don't hesitate to copy the broadcast link and share with your friends in Facebook. So soon we get as many as we always do. Uh, Today, our topic uh, about Muhammad being a prophet and the prophecies he made. You know, the prophets, when we call somebody a prophet, that's mean he prophesied. And the one who prophesy, he don't even the prophecy from his own. I mean, it is something coming from supposedly from God. So in order for Muhammad to be a prophet, then Muslims, they have to show us that Muhammad, he prophesied, and he did not prophesy of his own. He prophesied in the name of his God. And one of you, he sent me a link and saying to me, can you refute the Muslims about what they claim here? So today we will share with you what the Muslim says about Muhammad being a prophet. But please invite your friends, and as I said, share the link of the video broadcast and Facebook with your friends. So we will start showing you how funny and how crazy where it is a Muslim he say that Muhammad was a prophet. And as always, I will show you how funny and how crazy and how stupid from their books, not from my book, which is the Bible. But you know, always I ask myself, do Muslims even read their own text when they speak about Muhammad? Because I accuse Muslims that they are helping us to get Muhammad busted. I mean, if I am Muhammad, I will sue them. You know, I will sue them seriously. Those Muslims, when you read their articles and etc., you will feel that they are really working against Muhammad, not for Muhammad. So this is what we will do today. Please invite your friends, post in Facebook, inform everybody that we are here, and let us rock and roll. Now, the prophet who prophesy, his prophecy should be found where? Anybody can tell me? If somebody prophesies something, where we should find his prophecy? Who want to help me in that answer? Anyone knows? If I am a prophet, if you are a prophet, if Moses is a prophet, if Abraham was a prophet, if Isaiah was a prophet, where we are going to find their prophecy? In the book. Which book? The book which is considered holy by the followers. So where we can find the prophecies of Muhammad, which Muslims they speak about it? In the hadith. Do you see something fishy here? Why the prophecy is not in the Quran? It is in the hadith. Is the prophecy of Allah is not worth it to be in the Quran? I mean, it's nothing, it's just stupid. Why we find those stories only in the hadith, but the Quran is empty? In the Quran there's a few prophecy Muhammad he made, and all of them they are stupid and dumb, and we will show it to you, and they will get Muhammad busted. So the prophecy in what is called hadith book, there's one of two things. Either those prophecies are written falsely long after Muhammad's death, or Muhammad himself is not a prophet, because simply a prophet of God, he should mention his prophecies coming from his God in his holy book, not in a conversation sitting with his friends. The prophecy should be a Quran, not in a sport magazine. right? So today we are going to expose that issue. What is different between hadith and seerah? There is no really not different. The hadith is just a collection of hadith, more organized. The seerah is a story, include the hadith. The story is written based on what they heard. Like the Prophet, he said, yeah, the seerah is a major source of the hadith, but it is kind of a story. Like in this year what happened, and that year what happened. In the hadith, it's not about this year and that year. It's about he narrated, she said, he said, etc. According to etc. Muhammad or whatever. So the hadith is more concentrated dose and taking what is between. You know, like when you make a story, you have sentences to connect, right? Like, okay, second day the Prophet, he went to etc. city, etc. So those things you will not find them in the hadith. In the hadith it says narrated from that the Prophet said. That's it. Where, how, we don't know. No problem, my friend. I'm here to answer all the questions. I mean, like this, I never said to anyone I will not answer your question, even if you're a Muslim. So what about my brothers and sisters in Christ? Now, if Muhammad was a prophet, we should find his prophecy in the Quran. So we will examine the Quran prophecy, and we will examine the Hadith prophecy, and we will examine the prophecy which Muslims claiming to be a science, not only a prophecy, which I find very funny and very dumb. This is the website sent to me by one of you guys. Hold on. Let's find it. All right. This is the Muslim website. Let me make it more clear so we can see it and read it. 10 major signs. So Muhammad, he gave 10 major signs. Abu Huraira narrated that Allah Prophet SAW said, the hour will not establish. So this is what, guys? This is what? This is the hour will not established. So there is no way the hour will establish unless those things happen. All right. Till two big group fight each other, whereupon there will be a great number of casualty on both sides, and they will be following one and the same religious doctrine. Okay. Who are they? Those the two groups following the same religious doctrine. If the Muslim, they want to say that this is the World War II, that is stupid, because the Turkish was involved, the Albanian was involved, Muslims was involved heavily in this war, and the Buddhas were involved, and many religion was involved. Is that correct, guys? Is that correct? Are we listening? If this is the second war, that cannot be, because it says here that it should be from the same religious same religion, like Christians, Muslims, Jewish, Hindu, Buddha. But this is not what happened in the World War II. In the World War II, all religion with no exception was involved, including the Muslims. And there's a huge number of religious involved. Usually they are far away from us, and those who they are in Asia, like the Buddhas. And all of us, we know the Japanese, they were involved in the war, right? So if this is about the Second World War II, that's a failure. Let us see what the Muslims mean by that. Actually, let us take one by one. So now the two religious groups who will fight together from the same religious doctrine. Okay, let us see the Muslims. But I don't see really here any explanation. I mean, this article is just plain. Where is the explanation? So what is the two groups, major groups, who they are from the same religion, they fought each other? Nowhere. So the first one we don't debunk. The first one we debunk badly. Now, and then till about 30 Dajjal, liars, 30 liars appear, and each one of them who will claim that he is Allah apostle. There's 30 people who will claim to be Allah apostle. If I count for you first, how many people they claim to be the Messiah until now in the last 20 years in USA alone, you will find that this number is gone a long time ago. How many people they claim even to be Al-Mahdi? So this number is a foolish number again. Now, till the religious knowledge is taken away by the death of religious scholars, so all the scholars will be killed. Okay, who is going to be left? The dumb Muslims. Earthquake will increase in number. Time will pass quickly. How time will pass quickly? Let us see. Afflictions will appear. Al-Harj, i.e. killing, will increase till the wealth of abundance be in abundance. So abundant that wealth person will worry lest nobody should accept. Yeah, right. Do you see how the money is in the street everywhere and nobody want to take it? His zakat, and whenever he will present it to someone, the person who him will be afford will say, I am not in need of it. You see, so the end of the time, according to Muhammad, everybody is rich and nobody will need it. Everybody. I mean, money everywhere. Like you said to a person, take money. He says, no, I don't want it. Come on. You know, like yesterday, like I saw that in the news right now, a woman, she won $576 million. So for sure she was saying, no, I don't want it. We have a lot of money. Do you think time will come really and people will not need money? I mean, as long as they're alive and there's buying and selling and there's house for sale and there is food to buy and jewelries. I mean, this is a joke. Till people complete with one another in constructing high building. So people, they complete building with each other high buildings. Okay, hold on. Do you know, guys, that from long before Islam, human beings, they have high buildings? And I will not go far, just to show you that Muhammad is whoever wrote this prophecy, if it's not Muhammad, is a liar. If we go right now to Yemen, let me find you some pictures. Oh Lord. You know, when you make a lie and you keep repeating the lie became a fact. I mean, that's it. You believe it. All right. Let us show you how before the time of Muhammad the country which is called Yemen was. All right. Those are ancient buildings in Yemen. Those are ancient buildings in Yemen. Do you see how high? It's like you think it's a building built just 10 years ago. All right. And I'm sure if you search for Yemen, like I'm just using the pictures which is allowed to be used, you will find endless number of buildings which is really high and huge and going up. And not to forget, That's the power of Babylon is exist from long time ago. But let me see if I can find you more pictures of Yemen. Let us see here. Look at this. Do you see how high the buildings? This is Yemen. The Yemen, by the way, if not Islam, Yemen will be a very beautiful country, if not Islam. And this art of building exist have nothing to do with those people who you see there now, and the Muslims. This is something they inherited. Remember the Queen of Sheba. This is a land had a great civilization before, but when Islam came, it became a savage land. People kill each other, kidnapping, theft, crimes, etc. As usual, wherever Islam goes, it take with it all the substance of Islam. So if you look with me how high the buildings is, you will notice that this is not a prophecy. This is not a prophecy. This is what's happening in the time of Muhammad. Same time, the people they build high buildings is a prophecy of the judgment day. Well, do you know since when we have a high buildings? Not only since the time of people of Yemen, even before there's other nations they have high building too. But let us say about the new generations or the new, let us say in the 20th century. Since the beginning of the 20th century, high buildings are exist, and they spread like mushroom everywhere. And they're extremely high, not only just high. So Muhammad, he said no prophecy there. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? I really love it. The reason those people, by the way, they build their houses in such a way because this area is always an area of an attack, and there's fear and there's enemies. So everybody, his house, like a family, you see like those houses, I assure you that they are houses of one family, which means brothers. They build together, side by side. So when they have an attack, the family, all of them, they will defend all the sides of the walls of the house, which is almost like a castle. So in order to go there, you have only one stairs to go through, and that stairs will be very hard to pass because there's many windows. They will throw an arrows at you. They will, it's a defense system more than it is a beautiful house, or it's in purpose to be high. Otherwise, they can make it a flat and straight all over. But it was for defense purpose. This is in Yemen. This is in Yemen. No, this is not an ugly house. Why it's an ugly house? When people live in that time, you will wish to have a house like this. Well, what's wrong with it? Why it's an ugly house? What are you talking about? Why it's an ugly house? This is a beautiful house, actually. People are using a raw material, using rocks, and this is needing a good engineering too. It's not just to build a house. You will see it's done in a nice way with nice decoration, and it's beautiful. So I don't agree. Is that because it's in a Muslim country we say it's an ugly house? Remember, Yemen used to be Christian. Yemen used to be Christians. So this is have nothing to do. We are not against the people. So please don't make those statements. It's not ugly. It's beautiful, and this is a nice art. We are here talking about Islam. We are not talking about. We don't want to put them down just because they are Muslims today. No, we don't do that. But what the benefit of buildings if security is not there? What the benefit of buildings if your child cannot play in the street because people they became rapists? What the benefit of a building, beautiful building, and if you have a nice villa, but everybody around you is a perverted man? So the house is beautiful, but the atmosphere where you live is ugly. So if you say to me, I will give you the most beautiful house in Yemen to go and live there, I will say no, thank you. Right? Yeah, but the Muslims, they destroy all the culture. Remember, when Muslims, they occupy an area, culture is gone. Go to Pakistan right now, huh? You will see everybody, his name is Abdul, Muhammad, Ahmad. Even their names, they forgot about it. Everybody starts saying Arabic words. Nobody is using his own language. The names in the stores, etc., is in Arabic. You know, Islam bring Arab to a country, not really a religion only. It is what they call it, the Arab, Arabism. I don't know what they call it. Like, you know, they force the Arab culture because Islam is religion of the Arab. It's not what Muslims they say to us. Islam is for everybody. If Islam is for everybody, why a person who is a Hindu, you know, he cannot keep his name? Let's say your name is Raja. Why your name should be changed to be Ahmad? I can be Christian and my name is Raja. Doesn't affect me, and there's nothing in my religion that says so. Why I have to speak in Arabic? Why I have to pray in Arabic? Why I have to eat food the Arab ate before? Why I don't eat my food? So the second Islam come, even the curtains have to be changed and fit with the new religion. Why? Because Muhammad, he forbid them to have certain kind of furniture in their houses unless it's fit with Islam. And this is what this is the furniture of the Arab. So everything have to be demolished. Like now, if you see in Europe, there's Muslims there, and just 2 days ago in Finland, I think they cancel a music festival. Why? Because there's a Muslim threat. Now let us imagine, God forbid, that city became a Muslim city. This festival, which is a tradition they do, is going to be canceled forever. Just in the last year, there is many festivals in Europe, they've been cancelled. And even some of them not because of terrorist attack, some of them because the mayor of the city, the mayor of the town, he's an idiot. He says, we don't want to offend the Muslims. So Islam right away bring its own agenda, which is the agenda of the Arab Islam, not just Islam about worshipping God, his name is Allah. This is not true. Islam want to take over of everything, your culture, your language, your clothes. You know, you will see someone, he converted to Islam yesterday. He is a redhead. Yesterday he was in the KKK. Today he's a Muslim because he like it. Islam and the KK is the same. And join Islam, and then suddenly he is wearing Arabic clothes. Do you remember, guys, the guy who his name in YouTube convert to Islam, the one who left Islam? Anyone remember him? Convert to Islam. He's an ex-Muslim right now, right? When he was a Muslim, he was wearing Islamic clothes. Why you wear Islamic clothes? Can't you be a Muslim without wearing Islamic clothes? Why there's an Islamic clothes? What it's mean to have an Islamic clothes? So Islam forces you to change everything. Your name, you forget about your culture. Actually, Muhammad, he said it clearly, that the one who you know, the one who praised his grandfathers, which mean his tribes or etc. You know, which mean bite. Tell him to bite the penis of his father. If somebody is proud about his grandfathers, etc., tell him go and bite their penis. You believe it? However, the topic today is to get Muhammad busted about his prophecy. Let us see how much his prophecy is accurate. I will take every part of the prophecies mentioned in the hadith here, because those are not one hadith, by the way. This is a collection of hadith. The one who made this article, he made a collection of hadith. So what we will do, we will get one by one. All right. Let us see the first hadith. Actually, before I go, here we go. There's a hadith in front of me. In order to be a prophet, all your prophecies have to be consistent and have to be true. Otherwise, if you make one lie, you are a false prophet. Is that correct? Now read with me what Muhammad he said. Aisha narrated or reported that when the desert Arab came to Allah Messenger, they asked about the last hour. They ask what? About the last hour. So the question is, when the last hour will be? All right. And what that would come. And he looked toward the youngest among them. Then he said, if he live, he would not grow very old. He would find your last hour coming to you. And here between two brackets they say he would see you dying, which means he would, you know, that's not really what it says. They are talking about the last hour, and this is a false translation. They are asking when the last hour will come. He said, before this person get to be old, you will see the last hour. And what the word he used, kahlan, sorry, haram, which means he will not be old. Before he get to be old, you will see the judgment day. Because simply the whole question is about the last hour, not about when they would die. Everybody would die. They are not asking him when we will die. They are asking him when we will see the last hour. So obviously Muhammad here, he made a very clear false prophecy. Now let us go and find the other hadith, the one we mentioned from the Muslim article. All right. The Prophet said the hour will not be established. There is a war between two groups, among whom will be great number of casualty. Through the claim or religion of both of them will be one and the same, and the hour will not be established till there appear about 30 liars. All of them will be claiming to be the messenger of Allah. Any answer from Muslims about this? Is that true? Is that true? We cannot say that this is the fight between the Persian and the Roman, because the Persian and the Roman, they have two religions. We cannot say this is the first war, because the first world war, it was between many religions. We cannot say this is the second world war, because there's many religions involved, including Muslims and including Buddhas and including Christians and Jews and you know, all religion almost. So what is the prophecy here? And where is the 30 people who claim to be a messenger of Allah? There's a lot more. There's many. If Muhammad claimed that Allah is God, so which means those people, they would claim to be God. Go and read right now. If you type the word prophet right now, how many prophet they claim to be prophet right now as we speak? There's hundreds, if not thousands. So this is obviously as a false prophecy. This is a false prophecy. How many people they claim to be Christians? Sorry, they claim to be the Christ himself. Hundreds, not 30. Right? So this is a false prophecy, because if this is true, when we reach the number 30 of those who claim to be prophet, then the judgment day will come. But that never happened. Right? But Muhammad is copying always from the Bible, but the Bible doesn't say what Muhammad is saying. You know, Muhammad always he add his own spices. You know, one of the funny things about Muhammad, that always he have his own spice. He take things from here, from there, and he claimed that he is the one is saying them. But in order to uh, to make it fit, uh, he let us say he add things to it. Anyway, let's continue. If we go and read this, the second, or let us see here. This is the same actually he mentioned here. Let us this one. Allah Apostle said, the hour will not be established until too big a group fight each other, when upon a great number of casualty from both sides, and they will be following one on the same doctrine, till about 30 Dajjal liars appear, and each of them claim to be Allah Apostle. And then the religious knowledge will be is taken away by death, between two brackets. Earthquake will increase in number. Time will pass quickly. And the money will not be taken, and etc. But look then what Muhammad he said in the same statement, in the same prophecy, which is going to make Muhammad get busted more clear. Read with me. So after all those things happened, then Muhammad he said that people will go, they will complete, money will be offered to people, and people will say we are not in needs. Actually, this will be the opposite. The population of the earth is increasing, and more people, they need money. We don't have enough water in some areas. Not only money, they don't have enough water. Why don't they have enough water? Because they are living in a dry area, and in order to bring water for them, it's costly, which means they need money. So what do you mean nobody will need money? Nobody will take the money. You offer a person a money, he say I do not need it. This is a lie, and it will never happen. Tell the people complete one, the one another. Actually, by the way, if people they say we do not need money, it means people are good, not bad. If everybody don't take more than he need, that's heaven. This is not earth, and this is not judgment day. You know, if Bill Gates and the owner of Amazon and the owner of Google and the owner of etc., each one of them he says, I don't want the money, I will give it to you people. Do you know that less than 20 people in USA, they own what you like, they own more than all the American? 20 people only in USA, they own more than all the American they own together. You believe it or not? So imagine if those people they give us what they have. This is heaven. This is not end of time. That means those people are good. Now he continues saying what he's saying, and then he was saying the following. So when the sun will rise, and the people will see it rising from the west, they will all embrace Islam. And that is the time where Allah he will say no good will do it to a soul, which means no intercession. All right, that's it, time is up. That's the last thing will happen. Now let us examine this statement here and see how Muhammad he got himself busted. Remember, Muhammad he just said that the sun will rise from the west. The sun is rising from where usually? From the east. Now, but how the sun will rise from the west? Any Muslim here with us can tell us how the sun will rise from the west? Any Muslim can tell us how the sun will rise from the west? Let me show you how Muhammad he get himself busted. We go to different hadith. All right. Read with me, please. Because in order to understand the story, we cannot cut the story off. We have to read the whole story. The Prophet asked me at the sunset, do you know where the sun goes? Do you know where the sun goes? Which means at the time of the sunset, between two brackets. You know, when we see between two brackets, it means it's not in the hadith. But just to explain to you, sometimes they get it accurate, sometimes they get it no. However, it's a time at the sun. Obviously, it is at the time of the sunset. I replied, Allah and His apostle know best, or better. But in Arabic, knows best. So here, the Muslims commit shirk because they claim that the knowledge of Allah and the knowledge of Muhammad, they are associating together, and they put Muhammad equal to the knowledge of Allah, and they say that Allah and Muhammad knows best. Then look what he says. Muhammad, he says, i.e., sorry, the sun it goes, i.e., travels till it prostrate itself under the throne and takes permission to rise again. So the Prophet of Allah, he is the one who prophesied about everything, and who said to us in the previous prophecy, we read in different hadith, that the sun will rise from the west. What's happening in the sun movement? How the sun will move and go in the east or in the west? According to Muhammad, the false prophet, which is obviously a false prophet, because he just said that the sun goes. You see, when the sun set and when the sun rises, the sun goes nowhere. Is that correct? Any Muslim have an objection for this? This is your prophet, the one you claim that in his hadith there's a prophecy. The sunset and the sun rise, it just, I accept that as a figure of a speech. I mean, like until now we say the sunset, no problem. You know, I will meet you at the sunset. I will leave at the sunrise. People, they use that and there's no problem, because this is what we see and it's fine. But if you mean in a scientific way, that's absolutely false. The sun doesn't rise and the sun never set. If you remember Muhammad, even he get himself busted in the Quran when he said that Abraham, he worshipped the moons and the suns and the star. But when he saw them sitting, he said, I don't worship those who sit. But remember, who is the one who's talking? Allah. Allah is talking. I don't know what's wrong with this. Website. All right. Let us see. Let us see the story of Abraham. Here we go. This is the story of Abraham. Here we go. Chapter 6, verse number 75, 76, 77, 78. When the night covered him, he saw a star, and he said, this is my Lord. But when it set, he said, I love not those that sit. But the one is talking is Allah. So Allah is assuming that the sun set. Sorry, the star set. The fact the star is there, you know, and it's not moving anywhere. It was the earth going around itself. When he saw the moon rising in splendor, he said, this is my Lord. So Abraham, he was worshipping star, then the moon, and he said, this is my Lord. But when the moon set, he said, you know, I don't like the ones who go astray. But the moon did not go anywhere. I mean, it is the moon and the earth, they are going Actually, the moon and the earth, they are different story. The moon itself is moving, but it's not the moon alone is the one is moving. It's the earth too. But for him, because it disappear from inside of the earth, but it's appear in the other side of the earth. Then he saw the sun again rising, which is different from the first star supposedly. He said, "This is my Lord, this is Akbar." So he called the sun Akbar. And you will notice here that Abraham, supposedly in the story, he called the sun Abraham, and there's no explanation why he called it Akbar. The Muslims translate, they say this is the greatest. Why it's the greatest? Is the star? I mean, a star. The first thing he worship is the star. It's the greatest by what? You know what I mean? What is the greatest of the sun, which we do not notice? We have a star, we have the moon, and we have the sun, but the sun itself is a star. So why the sun is the greatest from the first star? The answer is very simple. It's bigger. The star is so small, and this is Akbar. So Akbar does not mean great, as David Wood, he said in his video, which is false. Akbar mean bigger. You know, there's big and bigger and biggest. The word Akbar is specifically the word bigger, not the biggest. Now, so the sun set, the moon set, the star set, and this is what make Abraham worship Allah. Here Muhammad is is repeating the same mistake, claiming that the sun goes and travel, and then in this prophecy, the Muslim, they make it as a prophecy, they mention that the sun is going to appear from the west. But how the sun will appear from the west? You see, so when the sun will rise and the people will see it rising from the west, so this is a sign of the judgment day, and everybody will embrace Islam. Then Muhammad here in this hadith explained to us how the sun rises in the west. So the sun every day will go and prostrate itself under the throne of Allah and take permission to rise again, and it's permitted. Then at the time will come when it will be about to prostrate itself, but its prostration will not be accepted, and it will ask permission to go on its course, but it will not be permitted. All right, so what will happen? But it will be ordered to return where hence it has come, so it will rise from the west. Do you see it, guys? Do you see it? So this is what the prophecy, the Muslims, they base their prophecy on. It's a fiction, it's a lie, because the sun doesn't go every day and prostrate itself under the throne of Allah. The sun is going nowhere, and the sunrise and the sunset is not the sun moving from point A to point B, and then the God, he will say to her, the sun, don't go back and rise from the east. Go where you came from. And where supposedly the sun coming from? From the west. And that's false. That's false. Let me tell you why. I wish I'm good in drawing. I wish. Let us see. Hold on. Let me make a drawing for you. Get you dizzy. Sorry, guys. I find myself I have to draw to explain to you what Muhammad is talking about. I don't mean it. Okay, don't be saying to yourself like, what? This is a drawing now? I am the worst ever to draw anything. Anyway, if you read with me here, actually, let's see. We will draw the image we saw in, or let's say the story we saw in the hadith. All right. So if we make, actually, you know what? I have a better way to do it. Oh, hold on. I will not do this. I will use Google Earth. I think that will be better. Hold on. Let me open Google Earth. Yeah, that would be more active and productive. All right. Google Earth. All right. All right. This is Google Earth. So, based on the story of Muhammad, let us say you live in any area. I mean, you name it. It doesn't matter really. All right. But as long Muhammad he lived in Saudi Arabia, so we will zoom in Saudi Arabia. This is Saudi Arabia. All right. So Muhammad saying, based on the story of Muhammad, that the sun every day appear from the east. All right. The sun every day appear from the east. Okay. So if the east is here, this is the direction. And this is the west. Actually, I'm drawing the arrow not in the exact direction. Let me make it more clear for you so I don't take it wrong. Hold on. The arrow will be like this, actually. Correct arrow. So the sun rise from here to this point. From this point, this is point A, and this is point B. All right. So the sun every day go from point A to point B, and here supposedly, let us say it is here, the throne of Allah, the chair of Allah. Allah have a chair here. Okay, you have a chair. The chair have 4 legs, and Allah sitting in the top of the chair, and there's 8 angels are carrying the chair. All right, and Allah sitting here, and his legs are coming like that, and his ass is in the chair, and he have 2 hands in the right side, as you remember, and he have 5 fingers in every hand. All right, so Allah is sitting in the chair, and the sun goes every day from point A to point B, all the way point B continue until it's reached under the throne. Under the throne, Mrs. the sun set. This is the sun, the shiny sun. But when it is under the throne, the sun will, like, it's not shiny really. It's like, because it goes in the water. If you remember in the Quran, in chapter 18, Alexander the Great, he found the sun set where? In a murky water. Do you remember? In a murky water. So this is the murky water. Supposed to here there's a water, and then by the way, the murky water is not in the space. The murky water is in the earth. But in the picture here, I draw it away so we can make the chair more clear and the sun more clear. Because remember, Alexander the Great, he found the sun sitting in the murky water, and that water was in the top of the earth. So based in the hadith of Muhammad, the sun goes every day from here to here and prostrate itself under the throne of Allah, and then ask Allah, Allah, can I go? Do you give me permission to rise again? So the sun will rise again from the east, but Muhammad did not explain to us how the sun will come from the east if it's already in the west. If the sun is going, if the sun is the one is going, in order to go back to the east, have to go back first, which means it have to go from the west again. You know what I mean? Let me make it more clear. I know my drawing is horrible, forgive me. Guys, look with me, please. Let us use this. Based on Muhammad's story and based on the Quran, the earth is flat. the earth is flat. Now we can show tons of reference if the Muslims here don't agree. The earth is flat. Okay, so the sun is rising every day from here, from the east, going every day to here in the west, and the sun prostrate itself under the throne of Allah, under the throne of Allah. All right, this is the sun here under the throne of Allah. The sun asks Allah, can I go back, Allah? Allah will give a permission to the sun to go back until it is time for judgment day. Now, how the sun will go back? Any Muslim can explain to us? Because based on the story, your prophet saying that the sun will go back and appear from the east. Okay, how the sun will go in the east again? Any Muslim can tell me? In order for the sun to go to the east again, it has to go in the west. Based in this story, correct, guys? How we can take the sun back to the east right now? Anyone can tell me? Just wait, Tendra, wait until we finish this and then remind me of your text. Guys, how we can get the sun back to the east based on the story? How we can get the sun back to the east without making the sun travel from the west to the east? Any Muslim can explain to us? In order for the sun to go back to the east, it has to go like this. In the direction of the arrow. Is that correct, Muslims? And that means every day the sun should appear from the west, not in the judgment day. Because remember, this is the west. The sun right now is in the west. The sun right now is here. This is the west. The west, W. This is the east. The sun came from here to here. Okay. Now as the sun asks Allah permission to go back, the sun wanna go from the west so she can appear from the east. How she can do that without going again appearing from the west? To make it more easy for you, Abdul, let us say you travel between two cities, one of them in the west of the other city. You went to that city in the west and now you want to come back. How you come back? You have to come back from the west, because already you're in the west. Guys, are we clear? Are we clear how stupid this prophecy is? Anyone don't understand? So this is not only a dumb understanding of science, this is a dumb prophecy, because he claimed that the sun will go to the east every day, but only will come back from the west once, and that in the judgment day. So how Allah he got the sun back to the east every day? Any Abdul? This is madness. This is stupid. This is not a prophecy. This is a guy. He's taking too much hashish, marijuana, you know, cocaine. The sun now is in the west. How the sun will go back? We'll take a bus. We'll take a shuttle. The sun have to travel back. Where? From the west. For already it says in the west. So for the sun to go back, it have to go from the west to the east. But Muhammad saying that will not happen until the judgment day. So the sun every day rise in the sunset from the east, after asking permission from Allah to go back to rise from the east. But Muhammad, he forgot that this is impossible. As long as the sun is the one is moving from point A to point B, in order to appear again from point A, it have, or point E, which is the east, it have to travel again to the point E. Any Muslim here have some intelligence? Now, even if the sun will take a flying carpet airline, as one of you is saying, still have to travel from W to E, from the west to the east. It doesn't matter what the sun take, a train, United Airline, which is a garbage airline that you feel like you are taking a bus. It doesn't matter. It's still the sun have to travel back from the west to the east. So the prophecy is a stupid prophecy, because based on his explanation that the sun goes every day from point E to the west, east to the west, he got himself busted twice, because the sun will appear in the judgment day from the west. And now this is explained that he is an ignorant in science, and they do not know how the sun rise and the sun set. It's just a fake appearance in our eyes, because you know, this is what we see, but the truth, the sun is there. It's not really setting and not rising, but the earth going around its or X, that will generate that this movement will generate that vision that we see the sun setting and the sun appearing. But based on the explanation he gave us, the sun will goes every day from the east to the west, but he never explained to us how it's only going to happen that the sun will appear from the west again, when this should happen every day. Always, guys, if you don't hear, refresh your page or change. Don't use Firefox to watch YouTube. Use any Google product. Google in purpose, they make it hard to watch their videos, or you know, browser, etc., using other browsers. Now, for those who they are slow from the Muslims, if I have a car, this is a car. Let me make a road first. I mean, have you ever heard of a car without a road? Yeah, I heard. I heard, trust me. If we have a road, this is a road. This is the city of Mecca. You are here, Abdul, in Mecca, in your holy city, huh? Mecca. And then you want to go to the city of whatever, in the Red Sea, or let us say in the sea, or wherever, you know. Let us say you are going from this city, it's called Mecca. This city, it's called Becca. Assume, just assume. Muslim, they say Becca and Mecca is the same one, right? Yeah. The fact it's not. Now, you want to go from here to here. Okay, the logic. Let us use the logic, if you have any logic. You just travel from here. Sorry, you just travel from here. Guys, this arrow always, in order to point in the direction. Let me use this one. I don't want people to get confused. If you travel from here to here, all right, in order to go back, you have to do what? You have to drive again from here to here. All right. The sun, in the case of the sun, this is the east. This is the west. The sun traveled let us wipe this. Focus with me, Abdul, please. The sun traveled from the east to the west. Now the sun, in order to go to the east again, how is going to do it? It have to travel from the west to the east. Because remember, the earth is not moving, it is the sun only is moving. Based on the story of your prophet. So now how we can solve the problem? Muhammad, he said that the sun will appear from the west only in the judgment day. But that is impossible, because based in his story that the sun goes every day from the east to the west, in order for the sun to appear from the west, from the east again, it have to appear from the west again before it can appear from the west. Do you see it? So the explanation of the science of Muhammad is stupid. He's a prophecy, because you know, when Muhammad, he told you about where the sun goes, he is prophesying for something we do not know. He is telling us the unknown. This is a prophecy. He is telling us at that time what a human being do not know. And where Muhammad, he got his knowledge from? Supposedly from God. He's not speaking for his own. He knows where the sun goes. Muhammad is not a space, he didn't work for NASA. He did not go for school. Muslim even they say he is illiterate. So where he got his knowledge from? From Allah. And what Allah told him? That the sun goes every day from point A to point B, and then from point B, which is the west, the sun will go back and raise from the east. But that is impossible, because in order to raise from the east, you have to go back in the same direction you went from, which is the west. Which means the sun have to appear every day from the west if Muhammad's story or logic is true. So in this little tiny statement of Muhammad, we found tons of mistakes, scientific errors, proving a false prophecies. Let us go back to the hadith and love more at the science of the prophet. So the prophet here, peace upon him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah pray on him and salute him, when he explained to us how the sun goes, and I do not know why the Muslims do not quote for us this as a prophecy. I mean, why the Muslims don't make article about this? I saw once a video made by a Muslim is speaking about science. He said, according to scientists, the earth is slowing down, and in certain point the earth is going to flip its axis, and instead of turning from point A to point B, which generate east and west, the sun was, you know, like rising and setting, the sun will flip its X, and is then the sun will appear from the west. Abdul, stupid Abdul, this is not what your prophet saying. Abdul, your prophet saying that the sun itself is moving, not the earth will slow down. Yeah, actually one of you said something maybe I should mention. The Quran says that Allah have two east and two west. Do you believe it? Any Muslim here would like to explain to us how Allah he have two east and two west? Huh? Who is a Muslim here in the text? I'm sure there's many. I mean, there's no way. If we go in the Quran, we will find the Quran saying the following. Al-Mashriqain. the Lord of the two east and the Lord of the two west. Chapter 55, verse number 17. Who is the Muslim when I explain to us how Allah is the Lord of the two east and two west? What is the two east and what is the two west? Any Abdul is willing voluntarily to explain to us? I'll explain to you. And I'll explain to you based on the Muslim's interpretation. Based on the Muslim interpretation, not in my interpretation. Because Muslim, they might say to us, well, you know what, he is giving you his interpretation, he is giving you his own, you know, like etc. And no, I will show you what does that mean. The Muslims believe that there's two east and there's two west, and I say Muhammad believe, because Muhammad, he thought that the east of the winter is not the same as the east of the summer. And the east of the west of the summer is not the same as the west of the winter. Now let us focus first in the east issue. Why it is not the same east? Because the sun is rising in different time in the winter, even different location. So the Muslim today, they try to defend that, saying he did not mean really there's two east. It's about the timing. Well, timing will not change the east, my friend. That's stupid. You don't say two east. There is only one east, and there's only one sun. You see, in order to understand what Muhammad he meant, we have to go and see the hadith. And the hadith is stating clearly that the sun is the one, it's moving its own position. So what the Muslims would do that? Are you going to say to me, your prophet, he got it wrong when he said the hadith, the Quran is accurate, but the prophet was stupid? You want to tell me that the Quran meant something, but Muhammad, he understood something? Because we are reading the Quran in order to understand what the Quran meant. As simple as that. And we are reading the hadith to understand what Muhammad he meant in his Quran. And as long Muhammad is the prophet of Islam, there's no way anyone else in this world, supposedly, he can understand the Quran better than Muhammad. And as you see, Muhammad explained to us what happened when the sun disappeared and the sun appeared. So obviously Muhammad believed the sun, it is itself, it's moving every day, traveling from point A to point B, which point A is the east and point B is the west. So all the Muslim defense for this is a verse is stupid and it's useless. Let us do this here. I like that. Man, I wish I did that from before. I was drawing the sun and working hard to make the sun. Look, the sun appeared immediately. I like that. So guys, listen to this. As long Muhammad claiming that the sun is moving from point A to point B, and he is claiming that there's two east and two west, and as long the Muslim they say that the west we are talking about, that there's a west in winter and a west in summer. There's an east in winter and there's an east in summer. Now scientifically this is wrong. In the language that's wrong, because the changing of time have nothing to do with east of winter and east of summer. That's east is east and west is west. And by the way, east and west is nothing, is not real even, it's fiction. We say it as a figure of speech, and because we created a map as a human to know directions, but there's nothing is called east and nothing is called west. I mean, where is the west and where's the east? There's no east and there's no west. But based on our fiction, you know, based on our fiction, or let's say as a human understanding, there is east and there is west. It's a fiction map we made. When we say a fiction map, now people they say it's scientific map. The fact is not really true, because the directions we made is based in how we see it, you know. And I am not, by the way, I'm not against using it as a figure of speech. Even in the Bible it says east and it says west, but in reality there is no east and there is no west, right? So when Muhammad he tried to make the speech a speech of science, he is not speaking anymore about a figure of a speech. He is not speaking about a map we created so we can know direction when we say south and we say north. No, no. He is speaking about a physical movement of the sun, speaking that his God taught him that, and supposedly only Allah and Muhammad he knew better. If you remember in the hadith, when Muhammad he mentioned that story here, what this guy said to Muhammad, when Muhammad said to him, when Muhammad says to him, do you know where the sun goes? Do you know? The man he said to him, hold on, I don't know why it's not working. Okay, now, do you know? Oh, it's white. This is why it's not working. It's working, but it's white. The color is white. All right. Do you know where the sun goes? The man he said, he replied, Allah and his apostle know better. That's mean, and Muhammad did not say, no, no, don't involve Allah this and this. It's me who's saying so. You know what I mean? Muhammad did not say to the guy, don't put Allah there, this is me. So when the man answered, he answered based on what? He answered that Muhammad obviously speaking because if you know of God, he is a prophet. Allah and his apostle know better. So where Muhammad get his knowledge? He got it from Allah. So how Muhammad, who is getting his knowledge from Allah, he got such a false fiction story? Do we have any Muslim here can answer? So when you Muslims speak about the judgment day, obviously your prophet is a madman and he is saying stupid things, doesn't make sense. Because all of us we knew that the sun is not moving anywhere. It is the earth going around itself 24 hours a day, and that will generate the generate us seeing the sunset and the sun rise, but in fact there's no sunrise and there's no sunset. Do we have any Abdul here? He disagree or he want to defend? And actually this story alone is enough to destroy all of the religion of Islam. Because if Muhammad get it wrong here, he cannot be trusted in anything. Let us say I said 10 things, all of them they are true, and there's one same thing I said is a lie, but it's a big lie. Ooh, big, big. This is a big lie, my friend. This is not only a big lie, this is a huge one. The sun rises every day from under the throne of Allah asking for permission, and the sun moves from point A to point B. Is that what happened really? Why don't you not? Suze Mia, my friend, I don't know if you are a Muslim or not. Listen, guys, aren't me the one who always says call me? I mean, who is holding them? I have an open challenge for the Muslims to call me and to debate me. Yeah, we're going to be open Skype to be sure that Skype is open. I mean, come on, do you want me to chase them? I made videos asking Shabir Ali. I made videos asking Zakir Naik. I made videos like too bad I know, like I did not reach to the time of did that, he was dead when, you know, otherwise I love to make him shish kebab. I mean, where are the Muslims? You invite them. Why you don't tell them those guys? I do not know them. Tell them there's a guy, his name is a Christian Prince. He is a challenging Muslim to debate him, and I am here. I am here every day, my friend. Every day at 4:30 p.m. we have a live broadcast. Any Muslim is welcome to call me. He is a sheikh. He is. I don't care who are you. Don't tell me who are you. No, I cannot make Zakir Naik, accent no more, because I noticed that Zakir Naik is upset. You know, he might sue me for copyright. Like, I mean, and do you know? Do you even call those scholars as scholars? I mean, name for me one scholar that exists in this earth. All of them is shish kebab. They are aftermarket scholars. They can't even read the Quran correctly. Go and watch any video of Zakir Naik when he speak Arabic. Brother sister, in chapter 13 verse 13 it says that the Prophet of Allah said, like anyone in the world understand what he said? And the Muslim right away, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They don't know even what he said. What he said. Who understand what this guy he said? But one of the most funny statement of Zakir Naik, proving to us that scholars of Islam, they are super smart. When a woman, she asked him, why in Islam there is no prophet, she is a woman? So Zakir Naik, he answered, first of all, let me confirm to you that in Islam we don't have a Muslim say the prophet as a woman. The reason there is no woman in Islam say the prophet, because if a woman to become a prophet, she has to lead the congregation. If she lead the congregation, she has to practice a lot. If they practice a lot, they have to bend over. If they bend over, that will disturb the congregation to you. What? There's no woman a prophet in Islam, because if a woman she's became a prophet, she have to lead the prayer. If she did the prayer, she have to bend over. If she bend over, Muslims will not focus in Allah, they will focus on her ass. I mean, how super intelligent the answer is. I mean, who can beat that? Nobody. This is the reason a woman, she can't be a prophet. It is her ass. Okay, I have a solution, Abdul. What about we put the trunk behind her ass? Something like, you know, can she lead the congregation? Huh? What if we install like a big skirt which will make nowhere the ass can appear, like very fancy fluffy skirt, like have a, you know, like in the old days when women, they used to wear this skirt and they have underneath the skirt like 100 layers of skirts, and the ass will not appear. There's nobody can see anything. Is that will fix the problem? You Muslims have a problems. You have no scholars, you have no prophet, you have no God. You know, in why the Muslims are focusing in their prophet to be making an amazing prophecy. What about we look at the Quran and see how stupid Allah himself? What about Muhammad? If we go, guys, to the Quran, look what happened. I will talk about a prophecy, not about science now. All right. Sorry, I'm coughing. This is a chapter 86, sorry, 8, verse number 66 and 65. What a disaster. This is the one is talking now is Allah, and the one is reporting is Muhammad. So take a note. Allah said to Muhammad, let me get some water. Thank you, Lord. All right. Allah said to Muhammad the following. Focus with me, Abdul. O Prophet, rouse the believers to fight. So Muhammad now is encouraging the Muslims. He have an order. Let us go. Let us fight. Let us kill. Allahu Akbar. Do jihad. Rape women. Steal money. Steal the candies from the 7-Eleven. Let us take all the beer and all the whiskey, and you know, and we say to the infidels, if there are 20 among you patient and preserving, they will vanquish 200. What? 20 will vanquish 200. Let us make it more clear. Based on this verse, Allah making a promise to the Muslims. Let me switch to English. 20. Where is the percentage thing? All right, here we go. To 200. What is the percentage based on this? That's mean 10%. 10%. Is that correct? Which means every Muslim can fight. Every Muslim, one Muslim can fight 10 non-Muslims, and he can kill them all. This is what chapter 8 verse number 65 saying. Allah, the prophecy is, encourage the believers to go and fight and kill the infidels, for one of you can fight 10. The Muslims, they went to war. Yeah, what happened? The Muslims got busted. They lost. So Allah right away, the Muslims are coming from the battle. He knew what happened. Muhammad, he knew what happened. Look what Muhammad, he made a new verse saying, for the present, Allah has lightened your task, for he knew that there's a weak spot in you. What? Are you sure? But even so, if there are 100 of you patient and preserving, they will vanquish 200. And if 1,000, they will vanquish 2,000 with the leave of Allah. Man, look at this prophecy, guys. Allah do not know that they have a weakness when he made verse number 65, Abdul? Do Allah knows that those Muslims have a weakness when he made verse number 65? Any Muslim knows? Any Muslim knows? Do Allah knew that those people have weakness when he made verse number 65? What is the change happened in verse number 66? Why Allah now he know that there is a weak spot on you? Allah did not know that they have a weak spot when he made verse number 65? My friend, if I believe the Quran have any message of God, I will not be saying what I'm saying right now. Don't you see? Obviously, all of this is a lie. Because if God is God, you know, he should know that those people cannot fight 1 to 10. And he should not say, now I found that you have a weakness on you, so I'm going to enlighten your task. And look how huge the difference is. The difference is a huge change from 1 to 10 to 1 to 2. Correct? Which means that the margin error was almost 100%. In the previous verse, he said 1 can fight 10 and win. In the second verse, right after it, he said, well, no, 1 can fight Two. But here he said one and fight. We have no more space here. Hold on. One fight. Then how this happened? How such a thing happen? That's a disaster, my friend. If Allah himself, he failed to be a prophet, what about his prophet? Because remember, the one who's talking here is Allah, not Muhammad. You know what I mean? Allah himself is not qualified to be a prophet. Well, you know, okay, Sue's saying, well, the Quran is written by the hand of the people, and how we know that the Quran is not manipulated after that? Okay, how you follow the Quran then if you don't trust it? For me, what I know that the Muslims believe that this is a book never been changed, and based on this, we have to judge it. This is what the Muslim says. And if there's Quran which cannot be trusted, so how we can become Muslims? What is left of Islam? If the Quran is a lie, is not what Allah said. If the Hadith is lie, it's not what the Prophet said. So what is left of Islam? How you as a Muslim will follow Muhammad after this? How you will know what Muhammad said? Muhammad, maybe he said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, eat shish kebab and love your friends. Maybe he said that. So are you saying to me that Muhammad was a good man, the Muslims were bad people, and they changed the Quran? Well, you have to bring me the verse where Muhammad says, eat shish kebab and love your friends. We cannot find it. Don't worry, Aaron. I'm fine. I have camel urine here. I mean, the Prophet who made his followers drink camel urine. I mean, what is left? What is left? You Muslims follow Muhammad blindly and you worship him. You don't have, you know, Isus, you just said that the Quran cannot be trusted, but because maybe somebody changed it. So how you can follow the message of Jesus if you don't even have the message of your prophet? Don't you think it's weird? The whole Quran spoke nothing about Jesus. Where is the message of Jesus in the Quran? Jesus saying that I worship God, that's it? That is the message of God, Jesus? Or what Jesus did in his lifetime? It was just only 2 sentences in the Quran? Where is the message of Jesus? You see, the Quran have time to tell us about what happened between the ant and Suleiman. Huh? The ant, Mrs. Ant, how are you doing, Ant? I'm fine. Okay. Let's switch to Arabic. Until they arrived at the valley of the ants, and ant, she said to the other ants, hide inside your houses, or otherwise Suleiman will destroy you and his army. I mean, look, the holy chapter 18 is a chapter of fictions, chapter of stupidity. Allah have time to tell us all those stories. Suleiman is marching with his army of a chicken and bird and hoop, and Suleiman in the morning he checked the hoop, he did not find the hoop. He said, where is the hoop? If I don't find the hoop, I'm going to slaughter the hoop. I mean, what I got from this? Allah have time to tell us all those stupid stories about a king. He have an army of chickens and birds and mosquitoes, and he don't have time to tell us what happened to Jesus. Even the crucifixion of Jesus, what Allah said in the Quran, Allah made him appear to be in the cross. How? We don't know. That's it. One statement. Sure, it's not even 3 words. Tell us what happened. Which one is more important to give it time? The story of the ant and Suleiman walking in the valley of the ants. The story of the hubhub looking for a woman, she have no hair and legs. The story of Alexander the Great, he found the sun setting in the murky water. The story of the seven sleepers and their dog in the cave. I mean, what we will do with those? Tons of verses, there is no need of them. So what we learn from this Quran? If I am a kid, even this story, I will not believe in it. Actually, once, honest to God, I told the girl, she is I think she is, yeah, maybe 6 years, 7 years old. I told her once there was a guy walking in the, honestly, I did that on purpose to see how a child will preserve this story. Now, depend how smart your son is or your daughter. So I told this girl, you know, she is a daughter of people I know. I told her there's a guy, he was walking in the valley of the ant, and she started laughing. I said, why you are laughing? She said, there's no valley of ants. There's ants everywhere. Even a child, she is not even 6 years old, she did not believe it. There's a valley of the ants. Have you ever heard a place in this earth don't have ants? Hello? The valley of the ants? So Suleiman, in his way, when he was marching with his army, he never saw ants in his way until he arrived to the valley of the ants. This is their country, like United States of ants. Suleiman, are you a Muslim? Suleiman, are you a Muslim? Who is a Muslim here would like to call me? Who is a Muslim would like to call me right now, right here? And Abdul? The stories in the Quran, it's not only astonishing and stupid, it's beyond the stupidity. It doesn't fit for kids, it doesn't fit for anything. And by the way, until now, I'm trying to find the valley of the ants. Maybe I will find them soon, you never know. And by the way, Muslims, any one of you knows where was the valley of the ants, which mentioned in the Quran? Any Muslim knows? Because I cannot find ants anywhere in the world. I mean, they are gone. There's no ants. There's only ants can be found in the valley of the ants. But where is this valley is? And the ants in this valley, Suleiman, he speak their languages. But ants don't talk. Ants are deaf and they are mute. They communicate by we have somebody is calling, his name is Tim. Oh no, maybe his name is Jimmy, whatever his name is. Let us see what he want to say. We missed his call. He's trying to call me. Answer, my friend, the one who was trying to call. Well, he's not answering. All right, he's not calling. He's not answering. I don't care, my friend, if there's 2 Abdul, 10 Abduls. What is the benefit of all those Abduls if they never answer a question? It doesn't matter. What is the answer? Why Suleiman only saw ants in the valley of ants, and how Sulaiman he learned to speak the language of the ants? Anyone can tell me? Who is the Muslim? He can tell us how Sulaiman he heard the ants. If the ants don't even talk, because in the Quran it says he heard her speech. He heard her speech. But ants don't speak by tongue. They don't have one. If you will kill me right now, I swear I won't believe in another religion, even if there is a proof. I know what this guy is saying. Can you tell me how the ant knows Sulaiman's name? I can tell you, my friend. I believe that this ant, she is using either WhatsApp or Viber. And somebody, like a spy, because the ants, I believe, they send a spy. So somebody from the spy, he was able to climb to the shoulder of Sulaiman, and she heard his soldiers speaking to him. He says, Sulaiman, hey, King Sulaiman, can I ask you for permission? So she heard that, and then she sent in WhatsApp or Viber the name of Sulaiman to them. Yeah, how the ant she knew the name of Sulaiman, Muslims? Any Muslim can tell us? How the ant she was able to know that the name of this king is Sulaiman. Imagine there's an ant right now in my room, and she saw me moving, and now the ant she will say to her friend, hey, hide, Christian prince is coming. How she knew my name is a Christian prince? Any Muslim? You know, ants are really smart, by the way. I mean, ants are smarter than Muslims. There's no question about that. Ants are very organized and very active and very productive. What the Muslims do, go to the Middle East. They wake up at 10 o'clock, they make tea, they drink tea for 2 hours. Let us say a Muslim is an employee in the government office. Look what he do. He go to work like around 9:30, 10, and then he drink tea. You know, a client is coming, like somebody, he needs something from the government paper, etc. You tell him, wait, you are drinking tea, don't you see? Just wait there, sit down, sit down. Now he spent the coming half hour drinking tea, and then he flip in his phone watching the news or videos. Look at this funny video. Then he asked the guy, okay, come, what do you want? You know what, this is not in my office, you have to go to the other office. The poor guy was waiting since the morning to do his papers. Now he just told him that it's not even the right office, go to the other office. Then at the 12 o'clock it's time for lunch. He go for lunch for 1 hour, but he come back after 2 hours. And then after 2 hours he ate, so he need to take a nap. So he put his head in the table and he take a nap. A person come because he needs some, he don't dare to wake him up, so he have to wait until he woke up. This is why in Emirat, all those who they are charged of everything is sensitive are Western. They put Emirati citizen in high positions, just like you know, it's a you know, just to get the salary. But the real ones is running the country is the foreigners. The one who make the train is the Indian. The one who drive the train is the English. The one who made the engine is Japanese. The one who provide the electricity are Swedish. Do we have any Muslim here? And by the way, what is making it more funny in the Quran that Sulaiman, Allah taught him the language of the birds. Allah taught him the language of the birds. And what make it more funny, he understand the language of the ants. I mean, is the birds are ants? Muslims? How Allah he taught him the language of the birds, but yet he understand the ants. Imagine the Quran says a Christian prince, he went to China, so he learned Chinese, and then I understand the language of the Japanese or the German. That's amazing. But what is the most amazing is this one, verse number 17. And before Sulaiman, where marshaled his host of jinn and man and birds. Like, what the heck? You know what? I can let it go with the jinn. The jinn are, you know, birds. The army of Suleiman have birds. What kind of birds? Duck? What birds Suleiman he have? He have an army of birds. So in his army there was a general chicken. I don't know what happened to this page, why it became so small. All right, now we fix it. General Chicken was in the army of Suleiman. Can you, Abdul? Do you really believe that Suleiman he have an army of a chicken, army of ducks? Anyone? So what the prophecy of the prophet? I mean, this is madness. Look first what you have in the Quran, and you will find how stupid everything in the Quran, and then let us talk about Muhammad the prophecy, which is stupid anyway, and we got them busted easy. Why cannot Egyptian Muslim defend Islam? I mean, why Egyptian Muslims specifically? What about the other Muslims? Why only Egyptian? All Muslims are welcome to defend Islam. Who cares? They are Egyptian, they are they are Indian, they are Pakistani. All Muslims are welcome here. We don't discriminate. The only discrimination I have is against ants. I use a spray around my house so no ants will get through. So do we have anyone here can explain to us what's happening? Any Muslim? I know, I find that the Quran is astonishing, and you Christians and Jews and Hindus and Buddhas are jealous. Seriously, those people, they are jealous and they don't want to understand how. What is the name of the cartoon which there's birds are army? I saw many of them actually. They are funny. They look like the same. The same as the Quran. What was the army of Suleiman inclusive of? Especially from the birds. Any Muslim can tell us. Anyone can tell us? Is it something scary? Like, are they scary birds? Do you think those birds are really dangerous? Are those the kind of the birds who go inside the flight engines and they can destroy the airplanes? Any Muslim? Who is a brave Muslim can explain to us? Who is a brave Muslim? He can even change the topic and talk about anything he wants about Islam. Challenge. Who is a Muslim is willing to prove us wrong by showing us something amazing about his religion, which is called Islam. Guys, don't like be over somebody just because his name is Mustafa. His name, he said to you he's not a Muslim. That's it, leave him alone. Why you all of you are? Come on. And even if he's a Muslim, if he don't want to talk, we don't want to harass him. Take it easy. Focus in the topic, not in any person. Everybody is welcome to come. He don't want to talk, he don't want to talk, you know, there is no need to attack the person. Do we have any Muslim here? Suleiman prayed to God to give him power and no one else to communicate with birds, ants and jinn. Well, show me the verse in the Quran. It says Allah, he taught him the language of the birds, Sus. It's a challenge between me and you. Can you? He taught him the language of the birds. Show me where it says he taught him the language of the ants. Show me. I challenge you. Obviously, the Quran, the one who made the Quran, is an ignorant, because he said that Allah, he taught him the language of the birds. He didn't say he taught him the language of the ants. Right? Where it says he taught him the language of the ants, show me. Maybe I'm blind. Any Muslim want to show me? Read with me. Chapter, the same chapter, verse number 16. Sulaiman inherited David, and he said, "O people, we've been taught the language of the birds." Do you see it? علمنا منطق الطير. منطق الطير. Allah taught him the language of birds. Okay. How he learned the language of the ants? Do you see it? O people, we have been taught the speech of the birds. Is the ants birds? And all of us, we knew where Muhammad is coming with this from. This is coming from a book. It's called from the Legion of the Jews. There's a Jewish scholar. He collected all the most important legions of the Jews. He put them in a book. It's called the Legion of the Jews. You can go and get it from the internet. And you will see in the Legion of the Jews, they have the same story. That Sulaiman, he spoke to an ant. Same story. Muhammad is copying the Legion of the Jews. He's being a fool. He thought those stories are true. Who is Vulgar Flynn the Rich? I don't know who is this guy. We cannot play any one video or audio, otherwise they will claim copyright over it. So do we have any Muslim? Allah, he taught Sulaiman the language of the birds. No problem. I will let that go. But do you know how many birds exist in this earth? How many kind of birds? All of them speak one language? All language, they speak one language, all birds? I mean, come on. Anyway, so let us say Allah, he taught Sulaiman the language of all the birds. What the purpose? Okay. So you like worms? With mayonnaise. But in winter there's no enough worms. Okay. You want to sign for insurance? Okay. So like what if you are short of food? Wow. Okay, I got your idea. So we can store food for you, and then in winter you can take it from my refrigerator. Oh, you're excited now. You like the idea. I mean, a language of birds. What is the benefit of the language of birds? What Sulaiman accomplished with that language? Huh? What happened after he got the language of the birds? What happened? What happened? Do you know what happened? Sulaiman, one of his birds, he went to fly, and then Sulaiman, he said, if he is not telling me where he is, I'm going to make him shish kebab and barbecue. And then when the bird came back, he told him, I found a woman, she have no hair in her legs. This is the accomplishment of the bird. So the storyteller, in order to make the story, the fiction story, like fit, he made it that, because how Sulaiman, he knew about this queen who is living far away. How? Ah, there's a bird who fly all the way there. He came back to Sulaiman and he gave Sulaiman a ring. Tiridim, 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 tiridim. Sulaiman, he answered from Bangladesh. Assalamu alaikum. Are you sure? Allahu Akbar. They worship the sun. Oh my Allah. She have no hair in her legs. Are you sure? Wow. Brothers and sisters, we just get the news that there is a woman, she have no hair in her legs, and that deserve to go and do jihad. So please prepare the army, the flying carpet, all the tents, all the camels, all the horses, all the chickens, all the army. General Chicken, call General Chicken. Okay, General Chicken, you prepare your army. You will take the right brigade. Duck, I do not need you for now. Wait for later, because later we will need you badly when we send the soldier to swim in the top of you. You will be our submarine. I mean, come on. Do you Muslims even have a brain? Sulaiman was doing jihad by converting them to Islam by marrying a woman, she have no hair in her legs. All my life, I wanted to find a woman, she have no hair in her legs. Why, by the way? Somebody told you at that time that women, they look like chimpanzee. What do you mean there's no hair in her legs? I mean, is that a rare to find a woman, she have no hair? Like at that time, do you think women, they used to have like a long hair in their legs? They are like monkeys? Are you supporting Darwin theory, Muslims? By the way, if there is any beautiful woman here, she have no hair in her legs, it's my dream. I'm single. By the way, I'm a black blonde African American from Japan looking for brand new wives, four at the same time, you know, and halal, you know, we can do muta. However, there's a condition. The only condition I have, you should have no hair in your legs. Any Abdul? I like that. Hold on. Let me copy it and make it. How you can make the chicken there? There's a chicken in the icons. I don't know. There's a chicken there. Why you not tell me from the beginning? There's a chicken in the icons. Where is the chickens? Ah, there's a chicken. There's a rooster. I would choose the rooster. Man, that's amazing. This is look like a real army. Okay. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. I cannot believe it. How I can get this? I put all those chickens there, but I cannot get. Okay, I think I need to do this now. I'm trying to take a copy of it so I can put it in the screen. The army of the chickens. Here we go. We have the army of the chicken. Look at this beautiful army. Unbelievable. This is so beautiful. I mean, if you don't believe in God, it is time to believe in God now. I mean, how we can convince atheists that there is God now? It's easy. There's no way an atheist, he will see such a thing and he will not convert to Islam right now. Yeah, even the Christians who believe in God, they will not hesitate to convert to Islam after knowing that God, he sent an army of birds for Sulaiman. That's touching my heart. That make me feel angry. I did not eat since yesterday. Any Muslim want to explain to us what's happening? There's no doubt, guys, that Muhammad is a prophet of God. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you try to fight Islam, etc. it's obvious, it's really obvious that Muhammad is a prophet of God. Everything witness for the prophet, starting from the chicken army to the ducks army to the birds who protect the Kaaba. Do you forget the birds who protect the Kaaba before? There's an army of the Ethiopian came to destroy the Kaaba. Allah, he sent birds, and those birds, they carry rocks, and then they throw rocks at the army of elephants, and they kill them all. The rocks is coming from the sky, brother. Allah, those are the Christians supposedly, and Allah, he sent the birds and they throw rocks. Muslims, why Allah don't send those birds no more when the AWACS, the American AWACS right now is flying on the top of Saudi Arabia and is going scanning every inch in Mecca and in Saudi Arabia? What is the flying birds? What happened to them? Who they are protecting the Kaaba? Why the Saudi have to spend trillions of dollars to protect their country if Allah will protect Saudi Arabia from anyone by the birds? Why the birds did not appear when Al-Qurmuti he came and he destroyed the Kaaba and he took the black stone and he make it for more than 21-22 years as a poo stone, the black stone. Not only this, Al-Qurmuti, after he destroyed the Kaaba, he was screaming saying, hey Allah, where is your birds? You believe it? Yes, he did. He was screaming in the middle of the Kaaba, in the top of the rocks of the Kaaba, after he destroyed it, saying, Allah, where is your birds? Here we go, the Kaaba, and we destroy it, and the black stone, I'm taking it with me. Where is your birds? And no birds appear whatsoever. Any Muslim have an explanation? How anyone in the world can believe in such a garbage religion? And not only that, I mean, look at the genie. I like the genie. Oh, genie, sir, I am your slave and you are my master. What do you want me to serve you? Can you provide me with better internet provider? What is that? Can you provide me with better internet provider? Sir, I'm a genie. Yeah. I'm not an IT. It's not, Allah did not teach me IT, sorry. Okay. So, Mr. Genie, what you can do for me? Just ask anything. Well, I just asked you for internet. You could not do it. No, additional to the internet, anything. Okay. Can you bring me Trump? Trump? Yes. This guy is very heavy. I mean, do you know how many guards around his White House? Come on, Genie, you just told me anything. Anything, but not this. Okay. Can you bring me a Muslim to debate me? I mean, this is easy. There's 1.4 billion of them. A Muslim to debate you? Yeah. I think this is impossible. Why? You know. No, I don't know. Come on, you know. No, I don't know. Tell me why the Muslims will not come to debate me. You are a genie, you can bring them. First of all, I am Muslim sensitive. What? I have allergy from Muslims. Why, genie? I eat pork. What? You eat pork? You idiot? Sorry. I ate it once. I could not resist the temptation after that. I am a sinner, so I ask Allah for forgiveness. Any Muslim here can tell me what's happening? Where is the Muslims? Who is going to debate me? Should we bring the genie? By the way, once Muhammad, he captured a genie and he tied him to the column of the mosque. I mean, isn't it weird that this prophet, he captured a genie and he tied him up to the column of the mosque, and then few minutes before his followers arrive, He released him. He released him. Let me see if I can find you the hadith. Hold on. But I'm sure if I find you the hadith, most of you will cry. I mean, you cannot resist this. You guys, you will be in trouble if you see this hadith. Lord have mercy. I just got a message in Skype. I don't know, it's crazy, saying I don't have legs. I don't have hair in my legs. Lord have mercy. Anyway, here we go. We found the hadith. We found the hadith. Look how Muhammad, he captured the genie. Only Muhammad can do that. Look what happened to him. Look. Man, this story make me really, I don't know what to say. I feel like it's like electricity goes in the body, my friend. This is amazing. Look at this story. It's very exciting. It's like a wartime, war zone. It's like Star Wars. The Prophet said last night, sorry. Sibi, is it true that Al-Qurtubi wrote in his tafsir it was a demon that visited Muhammad in the cave? My friend, there's many things written in Al-Qurtubi, but the Muslim, they will say to you, the Qurtubi said that somebody said, not him saying. Anyway, hold on. We can go there later. The Prophet said last time, a demon from the jinns come to me and disturb my prayer. I mean, this is a sad news. Look how evil this genie is. Disgusting, ugly behavior. But Allah gave me the power. Look, guys, what's happening? Allah gave Muhammad the power. What kind of power he gave you? To overcome him. How Muhammad overcome the genie? Let us see. I intended to tie him to one of the pillars of the mosque. Till the morning. Man, that you all of you could see. So Muhammad wanted to tie this genie to the pillar of the mosque. The purpose is to make all of you see the genie. I mean, isn't it astonishing? First time ever anybody can see a genie, and how exciting it is for Muhammad to capture a genie. First time ever, and the last time in his life. But look what happened. But what Muhammad? What happened? What happened, Muhammad? But when I remembered that Sulaiman, my brother, may the Lord forgive me and bestow on me a kingdom such shall not belong to any other after me. Muhammad remember a quotation from the Quran saying that this kingdom does not belong to me. So what happened now? Then the Prophet dismissed him. What? Dismissed him? Must be a true story. So the Prophet captured the genie. He tied up the genie to the column of the mosque, and now it's almost his followers, they are coming to see him in the morning. But Muhammad was thinking about it all night. Let him go, don't let him go. She love me, she don't love me. She love me, she don't hate me. She cheat on me, she don't cheat on me. And Aisha, she hate me. Khadija, she hate me. Hafsa, she hate me. Juriya, she hate me. Sauda, she hate me. Who love me then? And then Muhammad, he got to a decision, so he let the genie flee. I mean, obviously this story is a true story. Who cannot agree with this story? Nobody. Look at this. Muhammad, he captured the genie and he let the genie go. Do you see first how merciful he is? Why you take only the empty side of the glass. Why you don't see the full side of the glass? What is the full side? The Prophet was very merciful. He let the genie go. Oh. Okay, you know what, Muslims, what about Muhammad? He let his companion see the genie before he released him. He can release him, no problem. I mean, Muhammad, he captured people, he put them in jail, he tortured them, he cut their hands, he cut their feet. Can't he wait 5 minutes more for a genie who is a bad genie, who is even not a Muslim genie? Obviously he's a shaitan. Can't he jail him for 5 minutes more? So at least people, they can see Mr. Genie for the first time ever in their life. By the way, if you marry a Muslimah, I think you will see a genie, especially if she's wearing a burqa, because you have no idea what is inside the burqa. You open the burqa like, what the heck? What is that? Who are you? Why you have a mustache? You're a guy. Who? What? Like, you know, like the Muslims, the Muslims now in Iraq, ISIS, they dress burqa, to go through between the women who they are running for their life from the war. So they dress burqa and they put makeup, and they got hundreds of ISIS fighters wearing burqa and putting makeup and putting nails polish. You know, like they ask in order to deceive the soldier, the Iraqi soldiers, they make their hands, their fingers showing, but the tips of it, only the nails. You know, so the soldier will see that this person have polish in their nails. You know, they color. You know, what they call it, badiki or whatever they call it. So that will make them think that they are women. But the Iraqi soldiers, they are not being fooled no more. They hire women with them in the checkpoint so they can check every woman she will go through. Any genie, I mean any Muslim here? Anyone? By the way, guys, yesterday, I don't know if I should share this with you. A genie, he come to my house. Yep. Her name is Oprah. And she have another genie with her. Her name is Dr. Phil. I mean, both of them, they scare the hell of me. Not because of look, but because of their stupidity. However, the story is not over yet. After Genie Oprah and Genie Dr. Phil, we got Genie Hillary Clinton. I mean, that was the scary one. Her head was shaking and her eyes was blinking, and I have no idea what she want. Any genie around? Huh? Who can resist such a religion? I mean, come on. Who is a Muslim here? He have a question for me about his religion, a challenge for me about his religion. Actually, today I promised someone, him and his wife, to speak to them after I finish a Muslim from Pakistan and his wife. They want to leave Islam, but they have questions about Christianity. So today, after I finish, supposedly I will talk to them. I hope they will be there. Any Abdul? If anyone would like to read and learn more about the cult, it's called Islam, and how stupid it is, feel free to search for my books in Amazon.com or Amazon Germany, depending on the country you are in. So you can read my books and you can learn more and more about this cult, which is the most stupid cult ever. And by the way, now my books, all of it is shipped by Amazon, and that make it a lot more cheaper, because you know, shipping is not really a problem no more. Before, if you buy the book and then you pay for shipping, especially if you live overseas, it's really expensive. But Amazon, they ship locally, which means if you order from France, they don't ship from America, they ship from France. If you order in India, they don't ship from America, they ship from India, and that make the shipping almost nothing. Before, we used to ship from here, from the state, and that made the shipping extremely expensive, and long time to receive. This is why nobody can beat Amazon no more with their service. And we have Quran, deception of Allah, which is completed by Quran and science in depth. And actually, I don't know why everybody is purchasing the deception of Allah when Quran and science in depth have a lot more information. Hey, my friend, how are you?
Hello?
How are you?
I'm fine, TV. I'm fine. How are you doing?
All right, but I'm scared, my friend. I'm scared that the genie will come to me or something. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah. I actually heard a video of you. I think it was from about a month ago.
Okay.
Talking to a guy, and you were pointing out that the guy was I don't want to say he was an ex-Muslim, but you know, he was at that point where he was starting to ask questions. And well, you know, with Islam, once you start to ask questions of once it occurs to you that, you know, this may not make sense, then, you know, it's like a crack in the dam, because it doesn't make sense.
That's everything in Islam anyway.
Yeah. So, and that was one of the things you pointed out. You asked the guy, you know, about his army of chickens, you know, and yeah, you know, army of chicken.
Army of chickens.
And all these birds, and then what was that bird? I forgot the name of it. It was a certain bird that it mentions is a minister.
Yeah, he's a minister. The hub. He's a minister of irrigation.
Yeah, the hobo. And you would pull up a picture of it. This bird is the minister. You know.
Yeah, well,
this is in the Quran. You know, this is not a deed. It's Quran.
Yeah. But it's true, my friend, it's true. I mean, what's the problem? There's minister. You see, in the Middle East, we are more advanced than all people in the world, to the point we hire birds as ministers. I mean, it's true. What's the problem here? You see, in the West, you Western people, you eat those birds. In the Middle East, we are very merciful. We made them even ministers.
Yeah.
And they are in charge of even the land, the irrigation of the land. I mean, what the bird have to do with irrigation?
Well, you know, and the thing you got, you know, which you actually struck a chord with that guy, because he actually started to cry over there, which
yes,
I can imagine it's a tough thing, you know, when you believe in something, you know, and then you realize that it's ridiculous that you've been played the fool. You know, you played the fool all this time.
Right.
I can imagine at such a deep level, you know. But you ask, you know, what's the point? You know, we're not trying to say that there's no such thing as miracles. I do believe that there are miracles, but there's a point to them, you know. So really, even in that context, the fantastic thing is not that there's an army of birds that God would have a use for something like that. Which I mean, now I'm not trying to say that He does, but if God had use for a miracle, you know, there's a reason for it. There's something behind it. It's not just, you know, it's not just there for entertainment purposes. You know,
yeah.
There's a story to tell.
And look what bird, what kind of bird Suleiman he chose. I mean, these birds we see in the Middle East, and they are very small. They are beautiful, by the way. They are beautiful, and now it's very rare to find them, because Muslims, they kill anything is flying. This is why the wildlife in the Middle East is gone. We used to have lions. We used to have you know, many kind of animals, and they are gone because they shoot anything is moving. Now look at the bird, which is the minister of Suleiman. I mean, look at this. Any Muslim have a comment? This is the minister of Suleiman. Are you sure, Muslims?
Yeah.
Do you know how big this one? This bird is really small. It's like it's not even in the size of a dove. It's smaller than a dove. You know, it's not. Yeah, it's small. It's very small. It's very, you know, it's not really big. And but the different it is from a dove. It's more beautiful. You know, that have decoration and the wings. It's beautiful. You know, and they live in the desert. But now it's rare to find them in the Middle East. But why, from all the birds, this one became the ministers? What is the qualification for Mr. Hudhud? Any Muslim can tell us? You know?
CB.
Yeah.
Let me.
Go answer the
As a
phone. No.
matter of
Yeah.
fact,
Okay. No problem. And
yeah. Let me answer the phone. I'll call you back.
all
In a
right. No
second
problem. No problem.
with the question.
So, guys, what do you think? This is the Minister of Irrigation, and his part-time job is to find women have no hair in their legs. I mean, how he can find women they have no hair in their legs? How he can do that? He go under the skirt? Yeah, you got it right. This is the national bird of Israel. Why Muhammad he picked it up to be the bird? Because the Jews they have legends about these birds, and the Jews they have stories about these birds, and this is where Muhammad he got his story from. I have nothing against this bird. I believe it's beautiful, and I will never shoot it or kill it. I mean, it's a beautiful bird, you know. But that's very stupid. And this is stupid to believe that a king, he have a kingdom, he have an army of birds, he have a minister from the birds, he have general of birds, he have a brigade of birds, he have a major bird, he have a captain bird, he have, I mean, this is madness. And yet the Muslim they speak to us about science in the Quran. And this is my challenge for any Muslim. If you would like to call me right now, right here, and show me the science which is exist in your religion, I will be happy to see it. Anyone? Any Muslim? Don't forget, especially those who are new watching us and listening to us, don't forget please to subscribe and give a like to our video if you like it. If you don't, give it a like, no problem. Just be honest. But if you like to follow us, we do our broadcast every day 4:30 p.m. and we take questions and we do answers live. Usually we don't prepare. I don't really prepare for a topic. I don't have really a topic. I answer the questions of people. So it can be your topic. As long as the topic is about Islam, you are more than welcome to ask me. I am not politically correct. I say things as it is, and I never mention something without showing you in the screen the reference and the proofs of what I'm saying. As simple as that. You know, some people they speak about Islam or about Christianity, but really they don't have anything there to provide for us, right? Well, the flying carpet, the flying horse. You remember the story of Aisha when she was playing with her dolls? Who remember the story, the hadith? Aisha, she was playing with a doll, and one of the dolls was the flying horse of Sulaiman. Let me find you the hadith. And you will see right away how Muhammad was inspired by a story. Obviously, it was very well known. Even kids like Aisha, she knew about it. Let us see. Let us see where. Where is the hadith? Okay, hold on. Let me find it first. Sometimes the search engine is not really good. You search for something, it show you anything have to do with the word you search in the search engine. Let us see. Yeah, I want to show it to you so we can show you how Muhammad, where he got his inspiration. All right, maybe now we can find this hadith, if not that one. All right, here we go. We found the other one. Read to me. When the Messenger of Allah arrived after the expedition he was in, his attack, his neighbors, to Tabuk or Khaybar, they are not even sure which one. Okay, what happened? When he came back home, he saw Aisha playing with her dolls. The wife of the Prophet playing with the dolls. You believe it? Because she was a child. You know, we know all of us that Muhammad was a child molester. Let me take this subscribe off so you guys can read. Hold on. All right. Then Muhammad, he asked Aisha, he said, "What is this?" She replied, "My dolls." Among them he saw a horse with wings made of rags. He asked, "What is this I see among them?" She replied, "A horse." He asked, "What is this that it has on it?" Which mean the wings. She replied, "Two wings." He asked, "A horse with two wings?" She replied, "Have you not heard that Suleiman had a horse with two wings, with wings?" And this is where Muhammad got his story from. It was very widespread between the Arab, all those fiction stories and legends, to the point a child like Aisha at the age of 6, she know them. And actually, if you read the conversation carefully, you will see that Aisha and Muhammad, the conversation between them is a conversation between an adult and a little kid. You know what I mean? What is this? It's a horse. What is in the attached to it? Oh, those are wings. Why it have wings? Didn't you hear about the story of Sulaiman? It's a kid conversation, right? It's a kid, it's a child who is playing with her dolls, and Muhammad is talking to this child as a child. But yet Muhammad, he did steal the idea, and he later he put it in his fiction stories that Suleiman, he used to have a horse and he slaughtered the horse, so Allah replaced his horse which he slaughtered by a flying carpet. Right? Any Muslim here have a problem with this? Any Muslim here don't agree that this what happened? The same story about the if you remember the punishment of the grave. Who remember the punishment of the grave? This story again get Muhammad busted. Let us see. Look at this. Aisha, she said, reported by etc., that Aisha said, a Jewish woman, a Jews, this was a woman, she came to her and mentioned the punishment of the grave, saying to her, may Allah protect you from the punishment of the grave. This is the first time Aisha, she hears such a thing. Punishment of the grave, like what? I am in the grave and I will be punished? How that can happen? So Aisha, she went to the messenger of Allah, remember, all right, and she asked him if there is a punishment in the grave. And read what happened here. Aisha, she asked Allah apostle about the punishment of the grave, which she just learned from the Jewish women, you know. He said yes. Muhammad right away agree. There is punishment in the grave. Aisha added, look what happened, look what happened. After that, I never saw Allah apostle seeking refuge with Allah, but I never after that I never saw Allah apostle but seeking refuge with Allah from the punishment of the grave. In every prayer he prayed. What? Why Muhammad before did not ask Allah for refuge from in every prayer from the punishment of the grave? Any Muslim can answer? Why Allah Prophet did not mention that before? If this is so important to the point he cannot even say a prayer without saying I seek refuge from the punishment of the grave, I seek refuge, every time he pray, he never forget to say I seek refuge from the punishment of the grave. But before that date Muhammad never mentioned the punishment of the grave, and the proof Aisha never heard of that. Aisha, she is his wife, she accompanied him all day long. She never saw him before saying this statement, but after that, since she asked him the question, Muhammad never stopped asking for the punishment of the grave. Why? Any Muslim can answer? It's very obvious that Muhammad, he heard the story, he liked the story, he copied the story, and he preached the story. That is the truth. This guy, he is copying stories from others. If he liked the story, he make it part of his religion. A Jewish woman says so, it must be true, because she's a Jewish. They know what they are talking about. So Muhammad, he take whatever he hear from the Jews, he claim it as part of his religion, and he make it as he is the prophet who is aware of the punishment of the grave. But this person, he never been aware of such a thing, which anyway, it's a stupid and it's fictions. And by the way, until now there's some rabbis, they believe that there's some kind of let us say suffering for the soul, not the body. You see, some rabbis, they believe that when you bury a person, supposedly some of them believe that up to 7 days after you bury him, his soul is going to suffer for his sin. His soul, not his body, will be beaten and they will ask him 3 questions. Those are the additional fictions of Muhammad. But there is no proof of this in any way, in any mean, from the Bible. But this is a very clear evidence that Muhammad, he copied from others. He heard the idea, he liked the idea, he heard the story of Suleiman about the horse, he adopted the story, he heard about the flying carpet, he adopted the story, He heard that he spoke to the ant, which is from the Jewish legions. He adopted the story. He heard the story of the seven sleepers, which is nothing but a fiction written by a Christian bishop. Even we know his name. And this story became so popular in the Middle East, even in Europe. The seven sleepers. Muhammad, he copied it, he put it in his Quran, and he teach his people that his God is the one who taught him about it. Do we have any Muslim would like to call me live? Last call before our airplane fly in the flying carpet. Any Muslim? All right, guys. Supposedly today I was going to do my broadcast for 1 hour. Now it's 3 hours. You see, guys, what you do to me? Each time I say I want to make it 1 hour, I end at the end with 5 and 6 and 7 hours. So I apologize. I have to finish my book, you know. So I'm going to cut it off for today. I want to say thank you everyone for being here. Don't forget, please, to help us in our mission. If you like to sponsor what we do, there's a link for donation under the video. However, you don't have to. We welcome everybody. You donate, you do not donate. We do our service for free for the sake of our Lord. However, those who think they can help us, we appreciate your help if you can. All right, there's a link underneath of the video. You can click and you can help us in donation if you like to do so. Tomorrow we do not know what our topic, because as I said, my topic is yours. If you have a question, you can send me a question in Patreon, or you can give me the question live when we are here on air, and we will be happy to answer you. I do not need to get ready for a topic. You know, I'm not a person who go and gather his information from the internet, so I use the internet for sure to show you reference, but I mean the answer is ready, for we know what we are talking about. We are not internet scholars. We don't do that. A Muslim, if you want to debate me, he asks for 1 month in advance, and then he go and he print 100,000 questions from the internet, and he prepare himself based on those printing he did. But the fact he have no idea what my belief is and what his belief is. And this is why those Muslims, they don't have a courage to call us live on air. But you will see them, you know, making videos, etc., and challenging me even in their website, but they don't dare to be here. Even the Dean show, when we call them, they hang up. They will not let me go through. And I did call them many times. Maybe we should call them again so we can get them busted again. With this, I want to say thank you. May the Lord bless you all, and don't forget to subscribe, please. And until I see you tomorrow, we say to you, God is good, and he bring the good ones to be with us, and all of us, we will be one day in the front of the best, the good shepherd, the master, the wise, the amazing, the miracle, the prophet, the God. For he is the one who prophesy, he is the one who tell the truth, and he is the one who said, search the books and the truth will set you free. That is my Lord, the Messiah. If you can find me someone better than him, I will follow. But can you? It's a challenge for every Muslim Abdul, the follower of the dead Muhammad. We are the followers of the living Messiah, the living Christ, even in your book. The holy, the one who never commits sin, the one who resurrects people from death, and the one right now, according to your book, he is in heaven, while your prophet is a dead man. So thank you, the followers of the living God, the Messiah, the Christ, the Savior, the truth. He is our guide, he is our Lord, and we have nothing to be proud about except his name. With this, I say God is good, Christ is God, Christ is our Savior, and Islam is nothing but a cult, will lead you to hell. See you soon tomorrow.